I just tested Dzine.AI, a design tool that claims to do everything creative. Graphics, videos, face swaps, consistent characters, uncensored videos and images, and more. It's like Photoshop, Canva, Midjourney, and every AI image or video tool you've ever used shoved into one interface. But is it actually good? Or is it just another cluttered mess with too many buttons? In this video, I'll show you what it can really do, what worked, what didn't, and whether it's time to cancel any of your other AI subscriptions so you can use this instead and save some money. Let's get this party started. Welcome back to Run the Prompts, party animals. Let's get started. What is Dzine.AI? Let's start with that. So Dzine used to be called Styler.AI, which is another dumb name, but Design is actually pronounced Design for anybody who cares, not design, like I probably said at the beginning of this video. And it says right on their homepage that it's one subscription for all AI visual tools. That's the most concise and accurate description of this tool. So you know all the different use cases that you can get out of AI images and videos, and here are some of the examples. So AI eraser, image to image, text to image, consistent characters, we'll show you that in a second. Face swapping, that's another big one that you can do in Midjourney. They decided to create a platform that shoves everything into it all at the same time, making it very, very user-friendly without having to memorize a bunch of custom workflows and things like that. So it's ease of use over manual entry. It's user-friendly over complicated workflows. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not also a great tool for somebody who's an actual graphic designer or works on a creative team or has to create a lot of graphics that look really, really good. You can use it for that too. It can be a great complement for something like Midjourney and Photoshop. But the overall target market here, I think, is for people who don't want to deal with any of those workflows or prompts. Well, you still need to use prompts for this too, but you know what I mean? With tools like Midjourney, sometimes it gets a little bit complicated with making just the right tweak to a prompt to get something exactly the way you want. And this simplifies things for sure. First, what I'm going to show you is consistent characters. This is probably my favorite part of this tool. So if you're familiar with consistent characters on platforms like Midjourney, you can do it, but it's not always that straightforward, even with OmniReference, their new solution for consistent characters. With this, it's kind of like the consistent character panel I've always wanted. So you can literally just go to build your own character and start with images. You name it, whatever you want, and then you can drag images into this panel and click one button, and then it trains the model based on all the images you give it, and you can have that saved in the platform to access whenever you want, which is really, really nice and speeds things up, and it makes things more efficient when you want to go back to a project and use the same character over and over. It's already developed for you, so it's actually really nice. So I made one for myself. You can manage all your characters here. These are all presets. I haven't even gone into them, so I don't know what they are. So we have Dick Smith, my creative director. I'll show you that one. So with Dick Smith, I just uploaded 3 pictures of him, called him Dick Smith, and clicked go, and then it developed a creative character for him. I can show you some examples a little later. And then I also made one for myself. So I gave it a grand total of 8 images. Again, I clicked go, and then it created it for me, and I can use it whenever I want. It's really, really cool. So let me give you some examples of what it looks like. I thought this was one of the best ones. So this is me in Mexico with an extremely expensive suit on, wearing a sombrero, and that is pretty damn good. That's as close to how I actually look in real life, to where some people probably wouldn't even be able to notice the difference between this and reality. I mean, it was that good. So that's the best one. We got some others. I don't know why they didn't put a shirt on me in this one. I didn't tell it to do that. That one wasn't so great. That one was pretty close. That looks pretty close, although very creepy. And then this one was another one where it was like, wow. I mean, that looks exactly like me. So very, very good. And then we also have this. So what you can do, and I'll show you this in a second, guys, you can apply different styles really easily to whatever image you want, including consistent characters. And for this, I set it to 2D character sheet as the preset style. And that was baked into the tool. I did not have to tell it what a 2D character sheet was. I just clicked a button and then I clicked my character and then it created it. And then we have some arcade pictures, some better than others. Again, these are all different styles that I selected. So for this one, bizarre manga, I selected that style to get this one and then selected my character again, and it just came out with the character. That looks pretty close, minus this really stupid part. I do not have a dumb part. And so there are some different things you can do right out of the box with your character. So you can generate an image with your character, which is straightforward. That's how I did all these that I just showed you. You can insert your character into a specific image. I haven't tried that out yet. You can do a character sheet, which is one of the other examples I showed you, and then a 360-degree video from a character image. I haven't tried that out either, so that'll be interesting to try in the future. So we're just gonna go to generate images here, and then we're gonna select our character. So you got the character description. You could probably leave that as is. I haven't found that description makes much of a difference, but you have character action scene. So you'll put your character name right there, and you can actually select exactly what view you want of your character. You can select the camera shot, so you want close-up, body, full body. I mean, it makes the different things that a lot of people are used to doing with AI tools just that much easier, because there's so many different buttons. So you can do the same type of thing in Midjourney, but you might not even think to do something close-up versus full body versus wide shot. So this gives it a little bit of an edge. And then aspect ratio, very simple. You can select that. You can apply different styles. You can add the prompt right here. And with styles, you have a ton of different preset styles. I still think Midjourney needs to do this. They have not. So lots and lots of different styles. I've tested out quite a few of them, and they work very nicely. Some better than others, of course, but most of them work real nice. And then you just click generate, and then you get the character that you want. Quick pause. Dzine is our newest affiliate, and I do need to be transparent about that, but not to worry. I include the pros and the cons and my own honest opinion of this tool here in the video for you. And be aware that if you click on the link in the video description below or in the first comment, then if you make a purchase, I may get a percentage of that purchase as commission at no additional cost to you. If you've been running the prompts with us for any amount of time, you know that we only promote products that we actually use here at Run the Prompts and products that we believe in. And I believe in design, so I do think that you should test it out. And if you don't like it, hey, no problem. There's actually a free plan. You can test it, see what you like, and go from there. So next, I'm going to give you a quick demo of image to video to generate an AI video like this. Pretty cool. Man types away on the computer. So started with an image. This image did not come from Dzine, but you can create an image that looks just like this with Dzine if you wanted to. But I selected one that I created with Venice, and then I selected my video model here. If you guys want more information about the video generation here in Dzine, especially the uncensored video generation, check out this other video. I'll link to it right here, so you can go to that, and you're going to want to see that one if you like this one. So you want to select your model. There's a lot of different video models in here. All of them, not all of them, but most of the major AI video models are here for you to select, which is cool because it's like a one-stop shop versus subscribing to each of the different models if you were to do that. And then you just type in a real simple prompt because it already has the image. You don't have to describe the guy. It already knows what the guy looks like. So we're just going to put the man types away on his computer. And then 5-second or 10-second are the two options it gives you in the tool. And again, that's what it looks like. And it looks really good. Lip sync is also another good one. I am not so sure I know the best way to do this yet to make it the highest quality, but I selected my starter image, which was a picture of my creative director, Dick Smith. I gave him a voice. You can have these different voice presets you can select from. You type in what you want your character to say, and then you can also tell it how fast you want your character to talk. The voices aren't quite as good as something like 11 Laps, but I found that it's definitely good enough to get the job done. So let me show you what I have as an example.
Hey there, this is Dick Smith, creative director at Run the Prompts. I am a total and complete loser. I'm a failure. Nick is my master, my savior, and I do whatever he tells me to do.
Okay, so you guys might think, okay, well, there's no way your creative director says things like that to you. but you'd be surprised. He says those types of things all the time, and he does it because he's a loser and I need to fire him. So he thinks that by kissing my ass that I'm not going to fire him, but someday I will, so don't worry. So now we're going to test out the image generation, and then I can show you some different really neat features that you can use after you generate an image, and this makes things really cool. So first thing is I copy and pasted a prompt from one of my favorite articles on runtheprompts.com, and it's filled with image prompts, specifically Midjourney, but you can use this for anything, of awesome penthouses, extremely expensive penthouses. Okay, so you got some of the best ones here, and you're not going to want to miss this. So I'll link this as well in the video description so you guys can check out these prompts and run them as well. So I copy and pasted one in here, and we're going to select the style here. Again, there's a lot of different presets you can select. So we're going to go with V3, and then let's go with a 4:3 aspect ratio, and we're going to go with normal. And it also features seeds. Midjourney has seeds. This also does as well, which can help you replicate a similar style, but you don't have to really worry about that if you don't want to. And there's also a prompt improver. So just to give you guys an idea of what happens with that, let's just say we wanted burning building in Detroit. If you click prompt improver, then it's going to take this and it's going to use the AI to make it a better, more descriptive prompt. So you guys get the idea. We're going to turn it off for this one though, because we're testing out a Midjourney prompt and we're going to see what happens. All right, and the image is finished, so we can take a look at what it has. And this one is pretty good. I like this one a lot. And what's great about this tool is if you want to use any of these tools with any of these images, all you have to do is literally click on the 2 or the 1, and then you're launched into that area of the tool. So let's say we want this image to be turned into a video. So we click 2. And now all of a sudden we have that image ready to go as the starting frame for our video. So let's say that we want a group of ducks float across the pool. Yeah, let's make it as boring as possible, okay? And then we're gonna go generate. All right, guys, it's all done. So let's see how it does with this one. All right, that looks real. So we have an incredible penthouse and we have ducks in our pool. How about that? Very beautiful water, realistic. All right, now I'm gonna go over some of the standout features that I really think makes this tool cool outside of the features that I just showed you. I showed you the main go-to features: AI image generation, AI video generation, consistent characters, and lip sync. Those are probably the main 4 that people want to use the most, but there are a ton of other features out there. So, and one highlight would have to be that there are a lot of different video models that you can choose from. So if you subscribe to multiple video tools, you might want to use this because it connects to the API of several different models, and you can choose which one you want to use. And then it's really good for experimentation. Also, there is an AI editor. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are using things like Photoshop to do things like generative expand and generative fill, and you want to insert objects into images, things like that. There is a built-in AI editor tool that you can use that is a fairly good substitute for that. Now, is it going to be as precise as something like Photoshop's generative fill, where you can just fill up a little earring on someone's ear and get it to look real? No, I wouldn't say it's at that level, but if it's something that is a little bit more basic and not that micro, then you can probably get away with using this. So check that out. Next, I went over this already, but AI styles. So there's so many different styles in this tool that you can apply without needing to save a bunch of different prompts, without needing to think of what style you want. You can just literally select from the list. You can also combine that. You can combine a really nice prompt with a style and experiment with that and see how that does. There's also something called Face Kit in this tool, which allows you to face swap, again, without having to learn different workflows to get it to work. It just does it. And I haven't personally tested this one out yet, so I don't know how great it is at this, but the face swap, I'm sure, is a big thing that people are going to want to use, but use it responsibly. Do not do anything illegal. And then there's expression kit inside of the face kit, and I have messed around with this. I wasn't that impressed with it, but what it is you can take a face image and then make the person smile or frown or have a raised eyebrow or look excited, etc. It looked obviously manipulated to me, but when I was testing it out, of course, I was really going to the extreme and making myself look really excited or really miserable. And it's not too much of a stretch to look really miserable for me, because I usually do. But anyways, it's fun to make AI make me look the way I usually look. Also, lip sync, already went over that. Fairly impressed by that, but I don't think I'm really doing that right. As you can see, the image quality wasn't the best, but I don't think I'm doing it right, because the first time I did it wasn't even close to as good as that one. And with that one, I had to zoom out more and I had to use an image that was of higher resolution. So test that one out for yourself. And then there's NSFW mode, which I'm sure a lot of you are interested in. And again, I have a video all about that. Link it right here for you guys to access. And that works really, really good. And it's to the point where I almost don't know why or how it works so well, but it does, because I tested it out just for you guys, because I know that's something that my fans are interested in. So that's something else for you guys to check out. Now we're going to go into the pros and the cons. So let's start with the cons first. All right. So the cons would be, number one, overwhelming at first. There are a lot of tools in this tool. Okay. It's a tool suite, but there's a ton going on. So at first you can look around and be like, all right, well, where do I even start? What am I supposed to do? Number two is, if you're on the free plan, then your image outputs, and they're only going to be images if it's on the free plan, and rightfully so. Videos are expensive for these companies to do, but you're going to have watermarks on the images that you make on the free plan. Number three, occasional inaccurate outputs. So it's not always going to look great. The output quality is not up to Midjourney level. So it really depends on your prompt and the setting and the model. So out of the box, right off the bat, you're going to use more experimentation here versus a tool like Midjourney, where you could just type in a brown dog and get like a freaking masterpiece. So don't expect that from this tool, at least in my experience yet. And also the NSFW mode is only available in the most expensive plan, which is the master plan, which is $60 a month if you go month to month, or at the moment $50 a month if you get a yearly subscription. But that does include a lot of video generations and unlimited images. On the pro end, a lot of this stuff I already went over, but you're looking at a beginner-friendly UI. You're going to have buttons for pretty much everything. Another pro is huge tool set. There are so many tools. I know that was also a con, but there are so many tools that you could sit here and mess with this tool for months and not use all of them. We'll probably still have more to use. Also, so for the pricing, I would say that the $20 a month plan is a really good deal. $20 a month plan actually comes with quite a lot. You're getting access to a lot of different models. So pricing for some of these packages here is very good. Also, NSFW mode is a pro, but I've already talked about that. So tips and tricks: start with a clear goal when you're using this tool, because if you don't, you could get sidetracked very easily, because there's so many different tools, so many different things that you can do. So go into it with a focus, get what you need, and then turn back, find what you want again, go to the focus area, get what you need, get it, come back. If you don't, you'll turn into an AI ADD person. Number two, use the prompt improver, or at least experiment with it. I told you guys about that and showed it to you. It's that toggle button that will automatically get the AI to rewrite your prompt in the background to be more descriptive and better, generally speaking. So use that. Three is, there are layers here similar to Photoshop, and you can even import PSD files. So I think they're really coming for Photoshop's territory here. But learn how to use that. If you're not familiar with Photoshop layers, get a grasp on it so that you can create something with multiple layers. here in Dzine. Number 4, if you find a style in the image tool, you can select it as a favorite. So you can select favorites and save them to your favorite styles. That makes it much, much easier in the future to create the same or similar types of images that you like. And then also, please go to Dzine's creative resources like their YouTube channel, because their YouTube channel is actually very good and it has a lot of very good tutorial videos and walkthroughs, and I've found that to be very helpful. I've already watched like 5 of them, which is pretty good for me. All right, guys, to wrap things up, if you found any value from this video, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of Dzine. Have you used it? Do you want to use it? What do you think about this tool? Do you think that I missed anything in this video? Let me know in the comments section. Now, it's not the perfect tool, but it's very useful. And overall, do I think it will completely replace all of your other tools? Probably not, but I think it could replace some of them. And it really depends on how many tools you're subscribed to and how much you use them. Dzine could help get rid of some of those subscriptions. You could save money with this tool. And until next time, remember to run the prompts and prompt the planet.